My history was the series SpongeBob SquarePants, and Why Best Day Ever is my favorite SpongeBob song. Okay, let me get one thing straight. SpongeBob wasn't my first Nicktoon. My first ever Nicktoon was Rugrats by Klasky Chupo. It was one of the first, and happens to be one of the first movies I ever saw as a kid. The Rugrats movie in theaters. But SpongeBob was the first cartoon character to ever really, let's just say, speak to me. So, when I was 10 years old, my mom borrowed the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie on DVD for me from, I think, Blockbuster or another DVD rental place. I was a bit hesitant at first. I'd seen SpongeBob on Nick before, and at the time, I wasn't coping well with a direction that another animated series had been going through because of a sudden change of voice actors. Let's just say, I won't go into much more detail. So I kind of went into the movie blind, not really expecting to really be to come out of to watch the movie a second time. But for some silly reason, I did. And again, and again, and again, until I slowly began to like it. And I thought to myself, maybe I should give SpongeBob SquarePants a try. Can't hurt. Also, if you're wondering, this is my big SpongeBob plush. He's super soft and super comfy. But he isn't my original SpongeBob plush. Nor is the one you might have seen in the impression video. I don't know what my original SpongeBob plush looks like. I did have a Tommy Pickles plush, if I remember, when I was a kid. Anyway, so, and I always watch the end credits of each movie on the DVD. And there was one song that was playing near the end credits that when the song would end, I'd end the movie. I'd stop watching the end credits. The dun 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 da 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 da. If you can, best day ever. And as I slowly became a SpongeBob fan, that song wouldn't leave my mind. Yeah, it's an earworm, but you gotta give Tom Kenny and Andy Paley credit for making one of the most earwormy songs that could ever be heard on the series. Just from the piano intro to the guitar to everything. It just felt incredible to be able to hear it. Around season 5, I did step away from the show. And at the end of season 5 when the episode Pest of the West aired. And I completely forgot about Best Day Ever until an episode was airing on Nickelodeon. Now, here in Australia, we don't have we usually get Spongebob episodes roughly about a year or 9 months after the American release. So when I saw on the catalog that they had the episode Best Day Ever on, I I didn't believe it. I didn't think it would be the same song, and then the title card comes up, then a slow pan into nighttime Conch Street, and then the pineapple, and that intro plays, and I was thinking, don't tell me it's that song. And then SpongeBob wakes up and starts singing, Mr. Sun came up and he smiled at me. And I was like, oh crap! And I liked that episode from that point on. Like, I didn't watch it when it premiered on Nickelodeon. I don't even know if the Best Day Ever marathon aired in Australia. If anyone knows if it did, please tell me. Back in 2007. So this was roughly around 2008, 2007, I think. So when SpongeBob... even as the years went on, that song would creep back into my mind every time. When I first heard Don't Be a Jerk, It's Christmas in the SpongeBob Christmas stop motion movie, I was like, I couldn't get that out of my head. And so around 2015, I had just graduated from high school about a year before, 2 years maybe. And I had been in a pretty depressed state of mind. So my let's just say my support worker took me out to see a movie, which happened to be Sponge Out of Water. And I was thinking, a new SpongeBob movie. I'll give this a shot. And, well, let's just say that movie completely reignited my love of the series. Just how the first movie gave me the flame, the second movie gave it. And I loved it. I don't think I laughed so hard at that time in so long. Using SpongeBob's laugh as torture scene. It was the first time I realized that laugh can make me laugh. But then, and I slowly got back into the series, watching Lost in Bikini Bottom, and over time, I would watch other episodes and be respectful of, the cast and learning more about the series itself. And at one point, when I looked up who wrote Best Day Ever, my eyes literally bugged out of my out of their sockets. Tom Kenny and Andy Paley. Now, I knew Tom was the voice of Spongebob. And when I think about it, even to this day, it kind of makes sense that Tom wrote that song, because it, in a way, symbolizes SpongeBob himself. The song is a viewpoint on SpongeBob's life, on what he sees through his eyes. The kind of, he's optimistic. He's, nothing gets him down really. And when they do, he bounces back. He's able to let things go. He's the kind of character that really you sort of wish you had someone like that in your life. The guy who's always optimistic, who always can give you his shoulder to cry on. The kind of guy who is a hardworking man who doesn't let down a customer. And excuse me. And finally, and when that revelation came to mind, that's when I said to myself, best day ever is SpongeBob SquarePants song. Yeah, it might be written by his voice actor, but it still kind of counts as a song, as his song. But not just his song, the series itself. Nothing bad ever really stays happening in Bikini Bottom. It stays positive, and it never continues on to the next episode. Whereas many other shows don't have that positive outlook.
I brought you some light cheese and cream.